Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Good morning, everybody. This is the morning announcements with Bomani Armah on July 24th, 2023. We are pouring libations for Haile Selassie. I am explaining the Frederick Douglass Writing Club and the bar's writing process, and we are watching a poem by Rajni Eddins from Vermont Public Television show. The show is called Homegoing. We're going to have some fun with today's episode. Make sure to like, share, follow, and subscribe. Go to the video details for links to anything discussed in the show. Let's get started.
1 2 1 2 3 4. Welcome everyone to the morning announcements. I'ma say my name so you can pronounce it. Bomani Armah. Shout out to early risers, I see who you are. My morning ritual, thanks for having me over. Start with audio visual dose of Sankofa. My favorite occasion's a few moons away. I'm counting rotations to watermelon day. If you're with me this morning, I hope that you're with it. 2 things that I want and 3 ways to get it. Black solidarity, African independence. Honor the ancestors, prepare descendants. 3rd thing you gotta do is love right now. I mean that in every sense and every way you know how. Now throw them up and say what should increase on 1 2 3. Peace.
All right, let's do the mic.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Welcome to the morning announcements with Bomani Armah on Monday, July 24th, 2023. I am Bomani Armah, and we are 12 days away from Watermelon Day at Sankofa. We are here to honor the ancestors, prepare the descendants, and love right now. Make sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube. Shout out to my partners broadcasting the morning announcements, including Bloom Bars, Story Tapestries, and Sankofa Video and Books. Go to the link in the description to find out more. Let's get started with today's libation. Today's libation is for Haile Selassie I. Haile Selassie, July 23rd, 1892 to August 27th, 1975. The Emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974. Haile Selassie is widely considered a defining figure in modern Ethiopian history and the key figure of Rastafari, a religious movement in Jamaica that emerged shortly after he became emperor in the 1930s. He was a member of the Solomonic dynasty, which claims to trace lineage to the Emperor Menelik I, believed to be the son of King Solomon and Makeda, the son of Queen Sheba. He modernized the country through political and social reforms, including the 1931 Constitution and the abolition of slavery. In 1963, he presided over the formation of the Organization of African Unity, the precursor of the African Union, and served as its first chairman. Let's read this quote from Haile Selassie. An awareness of our past is essential to the establishment of our personality and our identity as Africans. Let me read that again. An awareness of our past is essential to the establishment of our personality and our identity as Africans. Haile Selassie. Awareness of our past. Wokeness. Being awake and attuned to what happened before you and what is currently happening around you. We, as a people, have a personality and identity as a group. This identity is based on our understanding of ourselves, and our understanding of ourselves comes from the stories we tell about our predecessors. Haile's life and legacy, going back generations, is an example of an awareness of our past being this essential element to understanding who we are. Africans throughout the diaspora celebrated Haile's coronation. Throughout the diaspora, we applauded him vocalizing the concerns of the continent on the world stage. There are pan-African political and religious movements created in his name because he established this identity. We need to continue to be this purposeful. Let me say that again. We need to continue to be this purposeful in the example of Haile Selassie. Let's pour libation for Haile Selassie. We'll never forget, so never fear. For homies who ain't here, we pouring out a beer. Because of you, it'll never be the same. We keep saying your name while we pour champagne. For the mothers and the father figures, your flames to flickers, we pouring out some liquor. We're the sons and the daughters of heroes and martyrs. Honor you by pouring out some water. Friends, today's libation is for one Mr. Haile Selassie. I'm excited to have him today as one we're pouring libation for, so thank you very much. Quick reminder, we are 12 days away from Watermelon Day. Watermelon Day is our annual celebration of watermelon, summertime, and everything red, black, and green. Find us at Sankofa Video and Books on August 3rd. August 5th, I'm sorry, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will be right outside on Georgia Avenue across from the communications building at Howard University. I look forward to seeing you there. If you want to plant a seed in what we're doing at Watermelon Day, definitely make sure that you check out our Watermelon Day merch. I will make sure there's a link in the description below so you can find out more information about it. Now, friends, here's what I want to do. As part of celebrating Haile Selassie's birthday, I want to play for you the speech that he's probably most famous for throughout the diaspora, and that is his address to the United Nations in 1963. I'm actually going to begin with the segment that Bob Marley turned into the iconic song War by taking the lyrics of this Haile Selassie speech and turning them into a song. I'm going to play from that part of the speech all the way to the end. You're actually going to hear Haile Selassie's voice, and you're going to hear the voice of the interpreter interpreting him in real time during this event at the United Nations. Friends, here is Haile Selassie.
But until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, until there are no longer first-class and second-class citizens of any nature, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes, but until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race, that until that day, the dream of lasting peace and world citizenship and the rule of international morality will remain but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. And until the ignoble and unhappy regimes that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique and in South Africa in subhuman bondage have been toppled and destroyed, until bigotry and prejudice, malicious and inhuman self-interest have been replaced by understanding and tolerance and goodwill, until all Africans stand up and speak as free human beings, equal in the eyes of all men, as they are in the eyes of heaven, until that day, the African continent will not know peace. We Africans will fight if necessary, and we know that we shall win as we are confident in the victory of good over evil. The basis of racial discrimination and colonialism has been economic, and it is with economic weapons that these evils have been and can be overcome. In pursuance of resolutions adopted at the Addis Ababa Summit Conference, African states have undertaken certain measures in the economic field which, if adopted by all member states of the United Nations, would soon reduce intransigence to reason. I ask today for adherence to these measures by every nation represented here, which is truly devoted to the principles enshrined in the Charter. I do not believe that Portugal and South Africa are prepared to commit economic or physical suicide. If honorable and reasonable alternatives exist, I believe that such alternatives can be found. We must act while we can, while the occasion exists, to exert those legitimate pressures available to us, lest time run out and resort be had to less happy means. The great nations of the world would do well to remember that in the modern age, even their own fate is not wholly in their hands. Peace requires the united efforts of us all. Who can foresee what spark might ignite the fuse? The stakes are identical for all of us. Life or death. We all wish to live. We all seek a world in which men are freed of the burdens of ignorance, poverty, hunger, and disease. And we shall all be hard-pressed to escape the deadly reign of nuclear fallout should catastrophe overtake us. The problems which confront us today are unprecedented. They have no counterpart in human experience. Men search, peruse the pages of history for solutions, for precedents. But, alas, there are none to be found. This, then, is the ultimate challenge. Where are we to look for our survival? For answers to questions which have never been asked before. We must look first to the Almighty God, who has raised man above the animals and endowed him with intelligence and reason. We must put our faith in him, that he will not desert us or permit us to destroy mankind which he created in his image. And we must look to ourselves, into the depths of our souls. We must become something we've never been, and for which our education and experience and environment have well prepared us. We must become bigger than we have ever been, more courageous, greater in spirit, ampler in outlook. We must become members of a new race, overcoming petty prejudice, owing our ultimate allegiance not to nations, but to our fellow men within the human community.
The voice of His Imperial Majesty speaking in October of 1963 to the United Nations General Assembly in New York.
That was Haile Selassie speaking to the United Nations General Assembly in New York, a very famous speech in which Bob Marley turned parts of it into the iconic song War. Thank you for listening with me on that. A lot of things that he said has not changed. We are facing unprecedented problems that history is not going to completely help us with because we haven't gone through it before. But I believe in humanity. I believe in our ability to get through this. Thank you very much, Haile Selassie. Let's keep this moving. All right. So we've honored the ancestors. Now I want to talk about preparing the descendants. Let me explain to you about how I prepare the descendants. One of the things that I am most proud about is something that I do with young people called the Frederick Douglass Writing Club. All right. Now, the Frederick Douglass Writing Club was birthed out of the homeschooling experience I had with my sons, Olu and Dela. I began this club in, I guess it had to have been 2015 or 16. I got to go back and do the history now. But we learn about writing and literacy through following the life and career of Frederick Douglass. This is one of the most transformational moments in my life. I am now working on expanding the Frederick Douglass Writing Club around the country, doing it physically, in person, also doing it virtually. This is a picture of me with my sons and their homeschool collective. This is the Frederick Douglass Writing Club on our way to Frederick Douglass's house in Southeast. One of the most transformative moments of my life, being able to walk these students through his book, through their own writing process. Later this week, I'll let you see the music video that they shot. All the young men you see in this video, right in this photo right now, are taller than me. All right, every single one of them. I am so honored to be a part of this part of the cycle of life and showing these young men who they are by taking them through our history. And that is what I plan on doing, even to a larger extent as time goes on. Now, to make sure you understand what I do, I teach using the 4 elements of hip hop. I teach using DJing, breaking, MCing, and graffiti. All right. Now, one of the other main things that I use is what I call the 3 R's of education. Rhythm, rhyme, and repetition. Rhythm, rhyme, and repetition are why things get stuck in your brain. It's how we teach kindergartners, but for some reason we stopped teaching 6th graders that way. My job as an art integration specialist, as a teacher, as an educator, is to use these 3 R's to help young people remember things and to implant these ideas into young people's brains so they do not forget them. All right. Now, I also want to be famous for this next quote. Rapping is the art and engineering of language divided by math. I'm going to say that again and let it sink in. Rapping is the art and engineering of language divided by math. All those words you see highlighted, bolded, all those words your favorite rapper or songwriter is using all the time. Art, engineering, language, and math. If they're aware of it or not, I have the great job of traveling the country and breaking down these elements for young people and teaching all these subjects through writing hip hop rhymes. Now, I also want to show you this Venn diagram. It does a really good job of explaining what I do. A well-written essay resembles a well-written song. Both essays and songs have main ideas. Both essays and songs have supporting details. In an essay, you have introductory paragraphs and supporting paragraphs. It correlates directly to what you have in a song when you have choruses and verses. I travel the country and show young people how to write songs instead of book reports. If you ever see me and I'm not smiling, remind me I make songs with students for a living. It is a great job. All right. Now, friends, to give you an example of what I do, I'm going to start off with this song called My Name Is. The number one job of a hip hop MC or rapper is to brag about themselves and their community. They use rhythm and rhyme as well as call and response to boost the image of themselves and their community. But let me break this down a little bit more for y'all. All right. One of the first things I learned when I became a teaching artist for young audiences of Maryland is to start with the art, to give the audience of students an example of your art form before breaking it down in an extended residency where we find the educational components of my art form. In technical terms, I've broken down to some important art integration elements, which includes my quote, "Rapping is the art and engineering of language divided by math." That is the focus of the graphic organizers and the songs that break down the details of hip hop songwriting process. But what is the emotional essence of rapping? Hip hop MCing is all about declaring that you are the coolest person in the room and that where you are from and who you represent is nothing but the best. Born out of extreme poverty of the crumbling South Bronx in the 1970s, rapping on the microphone with your rap crew of neighbors was your way of bringing positive attention to you and your much maligned community. An MC's turn on the microphone is a time for ego, hyperbole, and self-aggrandizing. There we go. They are usually friends with the DJ and promoter of the party and have gotten on the mic to remind everyone what a great job the DJ is doing and keeping them moving. It is primal. It's being the male lion or peacock. At one point, MCing was bright colors, tight pants, and bare chest. Think Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. They personified this era of rapping. Now I guess time works in circles. It's the exact same thing. The point of rhyming this way was always to brag about what makes you exceptional. My introduction to that style personified in the iconic Long Island, New York MC Rakim. He was post-Run DMC when rappers stopped wearing colors and went for grittier street imagery. Rakim also varied the rhythms in which he rhymed like no MC before him, taking his training playing jazz saxophone in high school into the delivery of his rhymes. Rakim began the era of bragging about yourself in spiritual terms, touting your self-awareness and your heritage, boasting about his growth as a person and his connection to the divine. I wanted this track to have a bit of a raga feel, with a little more laid-back swing, a la a go-go pocket. The air horn was a must once I heard the whole track together. I am the world's biggest Andre 3000 fan, so I've never had a problem with rappers expressing themselves, even if it's to get attention. That's literally the whole point of this art form. Let me break one other thing down. When I started teaching classes, I would go around to each student and ask them their name. I would spell it for them. I got it right 95% of the time, even the harder ethnic ones. On more than one occasion, I had the almost exact same incident. I would go down a row of brown-skinned 3rd to 5th graders, some with heavy enunciations in their accents, who would tell me their names with Paul, John, and Margaret, respectively. Then one student would say, "My name is Olujiji," to which I would respond, "That's Nigerian, Yoruba, right? It means God does something. What exactly does it mean?" "It means God is good," they would reply with a smile. Then suddenly Paul yells, "Well, my name is Ade." And then John yells, "Well, my name is Tosin." And then Margaret yells, "My name is Adaku." I realized my classroom could use some of that Bronx 1970s self-aggrandizing attitude. Half of the point of my residencies is to get students spend time thinking about how proud they are of themselves and who they consider to be community. So in that thought, in that energy, that is why I wrote this song called My Name Is. This is why I perform it for my students first thing when I meet them every single time, if they're 3rd grade and up. If they don't understand what I'm rapping about, they know for about 3 minutes I just rapped about how dope it is to be connected to Africa and the African diaspora. And for that reason, I'm going to play for you now, My Name Is.
Baba Bomani, BabaGotBars.com. At the count of 3, everybody throw up the deuces and say peace. 1, 2, 3. Peace. My name is Baba Bomani. My flow's a force of nature like a tsunami. My words on paper are 3D like origami. Watch my hip-hop party, stretch your mind and move your body. Baba means father in the language of Yoruba, spoken in countries of Benin, Togo, and Nigeria. It's father in Swahili, used in Congo and Rwanda, Burundi, Mozambique, South Africa, and Somalia, Tanzania, Kenya, and can't forget Uganda. My African heritage is what I'm very fond of. So I put Baba in my title, so you know where I stand the moment of my arrival. In the tradition of rappers of the past, like the Grandmaster title for Grandmaster Kaz, MC for MC Light, even Little for Little Wayne, a Young for Young M.A. Baba states it plain. My name is Baba Bomani. 1, 2, 3. Peace. My name is Baba Bomani. 1, 2, 3. Peace. My name is Baba Bomani. I'm old school in the game like Atari. This is my full-time job, it's not a hobby. To kick it for the kids like Mr. Miyagi doing karate. Now let me tell you something about me. My name comes from the countries of Malawi, Tanzania, Zambia, and even Mozambique. Depends on what indigenous language that they speak. Bomani means warrior to the Ngoni. Yes, it's my real name, I can never be a phony. I changed it 20 years ago, it fits me if you know me. Even changed my last name in a big ceremony. In the tradition of black figures back in the day, like Nsozaki Shange and Kwame Ture, Chokwe Lumumba, El Haj Malik, El Shabazz. Bomani is what I'm known as. My name is Baba Bomani. 1, 2, 3. Peace. My name is Baba Bomani. 1, 2, 3. Peace. My name is Baba Bomani. My flow rides on the track like a Maserati. Get my speaking from my daddy and my good looks from my mommy, cause I'm a black star like my man Marcus Garvey. My last name is pronounced Armah. From the West African people called the Ga. From the country of Ghana around the city of Accra. The flag is red, gold, and green with a black star. They took our last names when they brought us across the water. So I looked to Africa to see what names it had to offer, and changed my last name after a great Ghanaian author. An African name I can pass on to my daughter, or I can pass it to my son. They might change it one day, I can't control who they'll become. But when they ask why I did what I've done, I say I'm building a tradition, not resting upon one. My name is Baba Bomani. 1, 2, 3. Peace. My name is Baba Bomani. 1, 2, 3. Peace. 1, 2, 3. Peace.
Yeah, that was My Name Is. The title, the first track on my album called Baba Got Bars. Make sure you go check that out on my website, babagotbars.com. Find more information about it in the link in the description. I want to give you another reminder. You can find all this music happening live for you at Watermelon Day, Saturday, August 5th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is our annual celebration of summertime, watermelon and everything red, black, and green. Find us at Sankofa Video and Books, 2714 Georgia Avenue. I really appreciate your continued support. All right, so we've honored the ancestors. I showed you how I'm preparing the descendants. Let me break down Loving Right Now. All right, I love highlighting artists and people that I feel are bringing light to the culture and explaining things that need to be explained and just showing love and light. I actually had a chance to meet this brother because I went and taught in Vermont a couple of years ago. I actually have not met him in person, but his children were some of my students and their teachers said that I need to meet him. So we have been friends virtually. I'm very familiar with his work now, and I want to bless you with this piece that he does. I wish there was a war where nobody came. This is a poem written by Rajni Eddins' mother that he performs at an event called Homecoming, sponsored by the Vermont Public Television. You know, this is a lot of elements of what I love together: public access television, poetry, loving myself and my community, being about peace. Let me let this brother speak for you. Coming up next is Rajni Eddins.
Peace. How y'all feeling? All right. I'm going to start it with a piece by my mother. This one is called I'd Like There to Be a War When Nobody Came. So I think it's just as fitting as when she first wrote it shortly after 9/11. Message I hope we all carry with us lifelong. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. I'd like there to be a war where where the gunners didn't show and the flyers didn't flow, like a river carrying death to those below, where artillery moved too slow, missed the boat and the whole dang show. And we all refused to go, I said, we all refused to go. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. Where the infantry said no, in crisp tones the taste of snow. And the bombers stated clear, they won't go in any year. And sharpshooters closed their eyes, much to the brass' great surprise. And there was peace with no reprise. We chose the peace with no reprise. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. Where we first would check ourselves, see what our causes do foretell. Tweak where tweaking would do well, then maybe check ourselves again. Remembering some crazy macho in does not signify a win, cannot signify a win. So I'll say it once again, I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. We'd like there to be a war where nobody came. Wouldn't you?
A War Where Nobody Came. That was written by Rajni Eddins' mother. I'll get her name to credit her specifically, but that was a beautiful poem. And that is a great way to tie in this entire episode. Thank you very much for your continued support. Just so you know, I'm coming up on a year of doing the morning announcements. If you've seen the first episodes, you've seen how far this has progressed as a concept. Now I completely understand what I need to do. Before the project started, I had not written the theme song. You saw me write the theme song over a course of days during the morning announcements. I had not come up with our motto, honor the ancestors, prepare the descendants, and love right now. I hadn't come up with a motto when we started. I started flying the plane and then building the plane while I was flying it. Now I feel really confident about everything. I even have the special effects button every time that I do the motto of the show. So now I'm changing the format a little bit. I normally do this live. I did it first at 7:30 and then I moved it to 6:30 because I'm a father and a businessman and I had to start really early if I was going to do it live in the morning. But now I am no longer going to do this live. Sometimes it was live, sometimes it was recorded depending on my schedule. From now on, it is going to be recorded on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can find out more information about the recordings by going to my Bandcamp, my Patreon page, patreon.com/Bomani Armah. I'm going to be recording the show, all 4 episodes, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm going to be recording them on Sunday. If you would like to be part of the audience that sends me chats and asks me questions about the show as it goes on, you can join me on Patreon. If you want to be one of my guests, because I'm going to bring guests in to perform their pieces like Rajni just did, that's going to be what's happening. So make sure you find me. You're going to have to subscribe to my Patreon page. I'm working out subscription levels, but I want everybody to be able to come see it live as it happens on Sunday, chill with me during my Sunday ritual. And then during the week, it's going to air Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as each episode comes out. I'm also looking for more libations. I've been honoring very famous African-Americans, but I want to honor the people directly from our community. So if you have suggestions for people to pour libations for, there's a link into the video where you can enter that information. I'm excited about where this is going to go in the next year. There's only one thing left to do in this episode of the morning announcements, and that is to end with the Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem by James Weldon Johnson and J. Rosamond Johnson. If you've been watching this, you have seen me get better on piano, playing this song from episode to episode. I'm feeling nervous that I just said that out loud because now I'm setting myself up to see if I can do it correctly, but we're going to have some fun with this. Friends, this is Lift Every Voice and Sing. Friends, that was Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem by James Weldon Johnson and J. Rosamond Johnson. Thank you very much for joining me for the morning announcements. There are 3 things that I want you to do today. Honor the ancestors, prepare the descendants, and love right now. At the count of 3, I need everyone to say peace, throw up the deuces, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Peace. See y'all soon.
Hold it now, melon is sweet, the water is life. So every time we meet, I'ma give you a slice, cause I'm the watermelon man. I'm the watermelon man. I got the juice and plant the seeds. I reap the fruit and give you what you need, cause I'm the watermelon man. I'm the watermelon man. It's the watermelon man, reppin' red, black, and green. The county of PG sends you greetings from